Hello, Roberto.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you well.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming in. And I'm
Thanks to
very
you, Erdi.
excited to see you here. And it is our first time of the chat, and that's my great pleasure to have you here. How is it going? Please tell me a little bit
Thank you, very
about
kind.
about yourself. Mhm.
Okay, as you know, I live in Italy. I'm Italian
Mhm.
since my birth, and I live in Rome, which is the capital of Italy. And
Wow, that's
that's
great.
to say, that's it's such a beautiful city, but it has its problems, you know, like all big
Except
cities
except that it is
in
a
the world.
very
And
beautiful city. It is the ancient city in the world.
yes, it's really amazing. The city
Mhm,
center is really amazing, but the city itself has also its problems because you know big cities have their problems, no?
mhm,
And I live in the outskirts, the suburban area of Rome. It's still Rome, but I'm not very close to the city center.
mhm,
Okay, I
mhm.
think I'm 10 miles far from the city center. Just have to take a metro, a bus, and I can get there easily anyway.
Mhm, mhm. That's great. Thank you very much. It's very interesting. Uh, how long do you learn English?
Uh, Quite a few years. I'm I'm a lifelong student.
Mhm,
I've taken my classes. I got my certificate 3 years ago, and my wife's side is American because my wife's
Wow,
family is American. Yes,
that's great.
yes, but my wife is half Italian and half American
Mhm,
because she's been living here for over 20 years.
mhm, mhm. That's good.
Yeah,
Interesting. Let me introduce myself. I
yeah.
am Rudi. I live in Russia, in southern part of Russia, Republic of Kalmykia. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Elista. It is the capital of Republic of Kalmykia. It is, of course, uh, uncomparable city with Rome. My city is small and uh, very modern, as I
if
can say. It's
if I have to tell the truth, I prefer small cities to big cities.
uh, uh,
Peaceful cities, relax. I know.
actually me too. Mhm, mhm. Me
Yeah,
too. Uh-huh. I don't like big city. Of course, it is good to go there just for trip and to take journey, but to live there, it is crazy. I think it's require a lot of
yeah.
actions. Even I
Yeah.
know, for example, my daughter living in Moscow, and it takes a lot of time to go from home to
Yeah, the
work.
work.
Yeah,
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 I see.
and come back home. It's very
And the traffic is horrible. The
that's
traffic.
true.
You're
That's true.
always stuck in the traffic jam. Yes, I know
Exactly,
this
exactly.
problem.
Mhm,
Yes.
exactly. Roberta, please, you've been uh, um, just recently. You've been on your journey, taking your
Mhm.
journey. Tell me about it, if you mm, have something to say. Of course, you have. What is? Where did you have you been? Mhm,
Okay. I I spent my holiday in Florida. No,
mhm,
Florida is in the southern part of the United States.
mhm,
It's a nice place, really humid.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
in,
I
in
can imagine.
in summertime, you can't really put up with the heat, and humidity which is a killer combination. You
Hmm.
just have to stay home with the air conditioning on all the time because it's really impossible to stay outdoors in Florida in summertime.
I can
You
imagine. Yeah.
Yes, because I think in summertime I prefer to take my walks and runs before sunup in the early morning because when the sun is up, it's really hot.
Hmm.
In winter time is way more enjoyable in winter time because it's like spring, you know.
Hmm.
So and you can enjoy outdoors and the nature much more.
Hmm.
And I go there because my wife's family is there. They live there. So we pay a visit to my wife's family twice a year, in summertime and in wintertime, because my wife works as a teacher and has a lot of time available because
Hmm.
schools are closed on holidays.
That's great.
Yes, and I love that place because I'm surrounded by nature, alligator, any species of
Alligator.
birds,
Wow.
alligators. Yes,
It's dangerous, really.
dangerous. Yes, they're just they're smaller than crocodile, not
Hmm.
crocodiles.
Hmm.
Very tricky word for me to pronounce. They're bit smaller, and they are afraid of the human beings when the human beings are on the land.
Hmm.
Unlike in the wetland, when you are in the water, it
Hmm.
becomes dangerous for you because
Hmm.
you are in their habit, in their natural habit, and they can attack you in the
Hmm.
water.
Hmm.
But if you are in the land, on the land, there's no problem. They're, they're scared of you.
Yeah, it's scared. It's scared. Personally, for me, I'm very fear because quite not so long time ago, I heard from broadcast from TV one case that one of famous professor, famous scientist has lost there. He disappeared. No one seen where did he lost, but have he lost, but had he lost. but some people suspect that it might be alligator. He
Oh,
took him and ate him.
mm,
It's
yeah.
it's awful. It's awful.
Probably that alligator was starving. He was hungry.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Unfortunately, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Unfortunately, humans are invading to his their life
yeah.
and mm, influence to uh, for disappear and
Mm.
yeah. That's mm. What uh, what about English? Have you heard? Have you had some any problems? How it is to know English and live in
Do you
America?
mean, yeah, in the States? You know, um, it's weird because we learn academic English through textbooks. No, it's a
Hmm.
different type of English
Hmm.
because native speakers actually speak differently. You know, they speak quickly, they use a lot of slang,
Hmm.
and they eat words. No, they speak so
Yeah,
quickly
yeah.
that
Hmm.
sometimes you just have to find the key words in the speech to figure out the sense, the meaning of what they're saying. You know?
Hmm.
And more than anything else, your mind is not trained trained to follow what is being told, because, for instance, I can endure 10 seconds and then I forget. No, it's a to practice that kind of English. You just have to live there, I think, a couple of years in a row, so you can get your ears used to that speed. You know? Otherwise, it's difficult. But when I'm there, I get by because I can understand. I don't have particular problems going to hotels, restaurants, or to the gym, to the hairdresser, to the grocery store, this kind of stuff. Okay, I'm good there, but I can't really say that I can converse with them in a fully way. Okay.
Interesting, really. Can you tell us, maybe, of course, you had a lot of encounters, and how it was? Who was the person who gave you the most impressed you? Who impressed you?
Oh, you mean native speakers?
Oh,
People?
native or non-native, maybe.
I don't know, because I've had a lot of teachers, a lot of friends.
I mean during the trip. Sorry, I mean
In the trip.
during the trip. Who was the person who impressed you?
Well, I have a friend there who doesn't live near our place, and that I see once from time to time, once in a while. He is an old man. I think he's roughly 80 years old. He speaks slowly. He used to work as a teacher, so he knows how to deal with foreign people. So he speaks slowly. He's understandable, and he's the person who has impressed me the most there, because I can have pleasant conversations with him, unlike the others, because the others don't care of the fact that I'm not a native speaker. I'm a foreigner, and they speak quickly. Conversations with them are not so pleasant sometimes, because many times I don't understand the full meaning of what they're saying. And furthermore, I need to get some rest from time to time, because those kind of English conversations are also very, very tiring. For me.
Yeah. Sometimes when I hear such telling, I'm very frustrated about my level, because I don't
your
understand
level is very good.
from movies some small parts from their
Yes,
speech.
yeah. It's because we are too hooked on, obsessed with native speakers. I mean, there are native speakers like Christian Saunders that are perfectly understandable, because they speak slowly, and they don't use so much slang or phrasal verbs when they speak. They're so enjoyable. It's so enjoyable listening to Christians, this kind of native speakers. But other native speakers speak too quickly, and we think that we are not up to that level. And we forget that our level is good enough for communication and to communicate English uh, I wouldn't say perfectly, but effectively. Okay, so I think your English level is more than good. Okay, but
Thank you.
we can't expect us to be at the same level of native speakers. It's impossible, and I agree with Christian when he says that according to some studies, this process takes 30 years to be completed, and I agree.
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
really,
I heard that.
I agree.
I heard this video. I watched this video, and yeah, I agree. And but sometimes it makes me sad because I was expected when I started to learn English. mm, I thought that wow, in 5 years I will be perfect. Okay, 5 years passed.
I never set goals because otherwise I'll be always disappointed and frustrated. Never set goals.
Five, but
Just
five,
enjoy.
5 years passed, and I realized that my level is not so good. Okay,
Oh,
I give myself once more
Evdi,
to
you're speaking.
yes.
You are speaking English. You are from Russia. I can understand you. You are communicating with an Italian guy,
Mhm.
so your English works perfectly. Okay,
Thank you, thank you.
you're
Yeah.
amazing. And I really think that your English is excellent. Is excellent. Your
Mhm.
English.
Thank you very much. And I think so. Maybe I should change my goal to should change my expectation and just learning for fun and learn
Yeah.
for
Yes.
fun. Yeah.
As it should be. Yes.
Thank you very much. And I saw your practice. I was very impressed. You have a list of topics and you randomly choose it and take it
Yes.
and
Yes.
give explanation. Personally, for me, it seems like, wow, it's kind of stress because I don't know. Of course, I know several topics quite good, so maybe, uh but there actually are some topics that I'm totally uh, mm, have knowledge for that.
Yeah.
How? Tell me, how do you uh,
Okay. So
mm,
the
do you
pur-
this
the purpose
process? Mhm,
yeah the purpose of this game
mhm,
is to bring out what you already know rather than what you barely know, because we have our own active vocabulary made of words and grammar structures that
mhm,
we put into practice while speaking. Okay.
mhm,
And in theories, we have another vocabulary, which is the passive vocabulary made of words and grammar that we can't really bring out while speaking, because we
yeah.
can't think over. While speaking, we can't think over what to say so much
Mhm,
like we do when we are writing. No, when we are writing, we have time to think over, and it's way easier. No,
mhm,
and the purpose of this game is to be caught by surprise and trying to bring out content and
mhm,
words. And it's a good training because the life itself is off the cuff. I mean, you have to speak without thinking over, sometimes without having any content to express
mhm.
this kind of stuff. And it's just a method to for your mental training, no? Because
Exactly, exactly. Mhm,
in those situations, I think you can make the most out of the knowledge you have
mhm,
already acquired, and you don't know to have because you are always in search of more complex structures, words, academic words, fancy stuff. But this is your passive vocabulary. So first you have to be able to bring out what you have learned throughout the years, and then you can practice more complex forms of communications. This is my opinion, and I'm having a blast. I mean, I find it very. I'm having fun playing that game because it's a new challenge every day. Starting from a topic you don't have any idea about what to talk about, and these kind of things that, in my opinion, are really fun. And this is the concept of having fun while speaking English, and not to be obsessed and don't feel pressured by, like you are in your exams. No, you feel the pressure. You start being all flustered, and this is just for fun. And
That's
also,
great method.
that's great.
That's great.
Another aspect I want to tell you. Another aspect: we feel embarrassed when we make mistakes. No.
Yeah. Exactly.
In my case, in the past, I was really embarrassed because if you get the preposition wrong, if you get the tense wrong, those were all situations on which I felt embarrassed. Now, by playing this game and broadcasting all over the world, even my own mistakes, because I make mistakes while speaking, unlike writing, I'm getting over this problem of shyness. No, I feel embarrassed. So I make fun of my mistakes.
Yeah, you did. You
in
did.
a way.
You did. You did. That's great. Actually, it's impressive, and please go on, continue.
Yes, yeah, never stop. Never stop. So
And share
you have to
with us.
correct your mistakes, but never stop. Never stop talking. This is the way it works. People don't care if you get something wrong. Small imperfections. People find you interesting when you are fluent, when you don't have hesitations. No, you're fluent, and people find you interesting this way. Otherwise, they don't find you interesting if you start. Uh, um, uh, 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 uh.
That's funny. Roberto, what about books?
Books.
Do you learn books every day, or maybe you prefer articles? And what? How do you
Yeah,
improve
yeah,
your pronunciation?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I try to eliminate my imperfections in pronunciation by listening to English more than anything else, by slowing down the speed. Okay, on YouTube you can do that because you can slow down the speed of conversation, whatever stuff you can find on the YouTube channel. And as for books, needless to say, I read Italian books because I bought an only English book. But it's really difficult to read the English books for me because there are words that I don't know, and that I have to look up in the dictionaries because uh, many writers don't use common words. Sometimes they use old-fashioned words, these kind of words, and you always have to looking up these words on a dictionary, and it's a waste of time, actually. And but more than anything else, I forget what I read if I'm not fast in reading. So it doesn't happen when I read Italian books, but it happens if I have to read books written in English. And going to the States, to conclude the pronunciation aspect, going to the States, I realized that I need to shave off my imperfections due to my Italian, but I never try to imitate the English pronunciation because there's no need. I have my identity, and it's enough to have a good pronunciation, to be understandable, and I don't waste time in trying to perfecting my English pronunciation. It would be impossible because people acquire they move their facial muscles and the sound from their throats and so on when they're a kid, when they're a little child. So we started learning and speaking English when we were teens, and it's pointless, it's just pointless. It's enough to speak good English and understandable English. If you can understand me, I achieved this goal. Okay.
Your English is great.
Oh, thank you. It's very kind of you.
Every word and every phrase I understand well, and he is no problem to understand you. And
oh, thank you, Eddie. Very kind of you.
Oh, I lost my idea. So sorry. Maybe you have to say something. Maybe you have something to say.
Yes, first of all, I want to thank you for the invitation. It's been a pleasure to chat with you. And for me, I don't have professional purposes in learning English. I just want to improve and go on with English for communication because I love talking with people from any part in the world, and because I find people so communicative. I find communication a big part. I think that communication is a big part in my life, and so I want to go over Italy from this point of view. And English is a means for the purpose, and I'm very happy when I can chat with people outside of Italy.
Oh, thank you very much. Friends, I wanted to address to our friends, and I recommend Roberto to practice English with whom, because he has a great experience and he has what to share with you, and of course he is very interesting person, and I wanna thank you, Roberta. It was a great pleasure to talk with you, and I hope we will chat not once. We will continue talking.
Of course, whenever you like. Okay, whenever you like, I'm available. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Roberto.
Thanks to you. Okay.
Okay.
Ciao,
Bye-bye. Bye.
Take care. Ciao.